You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
My name is Quoth. I tread paths by moonlight that others fear to speak of during the day. I've talked to gods, loved women, and written songs that make the minstrels weep. You may have heard of me. Join Mandy and her friends as they explore Patrick Rothfuss's best-selling fantasy series, The Kingkiller Chronicle. You can find us at casterquest.com or on the ESO Network.
Hello and welcome to the Monster Sci-Fi Show podcast. Oh my god, is that supposed to be the podcast? It's just Monster Sci-Fi Show. I fucked it up already. God damn it.
We got cards now.
I know we got cards. I still don't know how to read cards. God damn it. Should I start over again?
Sure.
No, fuck that. The show's already started. So welcome to the Monster Sci-Fi Show.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. I'm your host, the Monster, back finally after a little bit of a respite.
How was your summer?
Summer's over, fucker. After Labor Day.
Did we have an Indian summer? Now you can't wear white. You're wearing white headphones. You can't wear white after
I'm
Labor
not
Day.
wearing white pants. I can wear...
You're the man in black.
I can wear white underwear. I can wear white socks. I can wear a white shirt. No pants. No capes.
No kids.
So... we haven't done this in a while, and my apologies, but, you know, as we talked in the last podcast, which I think was, the San Diego Comic-Con crap that came out July?
We weren't there.
We weren't there, but we talked about it. The Sexiest movie is available on Netflix this month. Why did I get that text?
So you can have seagull droppings on the inside of your windows. I don't know.
Whatever. So not since the Comic-Con that we've talked. I've been busy with things at work, and it's kind of finally coming to a head, so to speak, because next week will be the last, hopefully, meeting of the podcast training group that I've been doing, and basically we're going to be kind of presenting in front of the administrators the value of what we did, and to hopefully have the podcast become a thing, not for me to do this as a library program, but like a lot more people to do this as a library service.
So you're training people to be pod people.
Yes, and I'm going to replace them all.
Open the pod bay doors. How? Open the pod bay
How
doors.
I'm going to replace them, Gene? When they go to sleep, then they get replaced.
Oh, I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep.
And then when you find them, it's like,
Donald Sutherland is scary.
yeah, that face in itself, but that moment, yeah. That was,
And years later in Virus? Oh.
yeah, whatever.
I don't know. No one watched that.
So, we're going to do a lot of catching up in this podcast, but the main focus today is going to be on Titans Season 2, Episode 1, which we just watched. Stop holding your face like that, Jake.
Sorry.
It's not that bad.
They can't see me.
I know they can't see you, but I have to describe it so that people know this is what he's doing. So, right off the bat, we live in Miami. And...
well, you're talking about internet safety, and you're going to tell them that we live in Miami? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we live in Miami. Go ahead.
context, Gene. Context.
What, you don't
Not
like the Chevy Chase
context.
show? Yeah, I got it.
Context. Because we were in the cone because of fucking Dorian. And then we were not in the cone. But Dorian's not turning. So all week and all weekend long with Labor Day in Miami was kind of stressful.
Yes,
I mean, it's not that we haven't been through this kind of routine of with hurricane and preparations and just the wait.
Preparation H? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because the preparation H. Fuck, I screwed up the whole fucking joke already. I said it the first time I called you. You said the whole thing. You ready with preparation H? It's like, yes, because preparation A through F.
Failed.
No, I fucked it up again. It's supposed to be H and G because it comes after H. God, fuck. Oh my God. I really do need to start this podcast over again. but I'm not.
Your fancy headphones that keep throwing me off.
Want me to take them off?
No, it's fine.
All right, so nothing happened on its worst moments that Dorian was coming close. We could have done things like on a normal Sunday and had a fantastic weekend with Labor Day. But everyone was kind of tensed up because...
Scared, eating their hurricane supplies.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking Cat 5 hurricane.
It's terrifying. It was terrifying. Even a Cat 1. If you've never been there, it's terrifying.
Right. And it doesn't have to do a whole lot of damage. It's that you can just have your power knocked down and then you're down for a week.
Yeah, and you're unhappy and you're miserable. You're sweating. You're taking cold showers.
Right. And that... I already had that problem because the AC broke down not too long ago.
Oh, God. So you're taking cold showers anyway just to cool down. That's terrible.
To wake up in a cold sweat, it's not a good feeling to have.
Do I have a fever? No, it's just the environment.
You need to change those sheets, boy. So, out of that, I mean, thankfully, we did not get hit, but the Bahamas, fuck, man, they got
sat on them for 41 hours.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I mean, I've never seen a hurricane, and I've been here since right before Andrew hit. Never have I seen a hurricane kind of stall out.
I've never seen it move so slow. I know I was.
So that's just unfucking believable. But not as unfucking believable as fucking it.
Go ahead, yes?
As fucking President Trump. And I'm not going to go into political assassinations here.
He's not a man.
The whole idea is that because he put out this tweet on Sunday about how Alabama was going to be part of the people or the states that were going to get hit, for them to be prepared, which was not the case.
A few minutes later, the National Weather Service of Alabama said, no, that's not true.
Right.
We're not in danger. Everything's going to be fine.
Right.
20 minutes later.
Right. So you would think he would just let it go. No. This is now Friday that we're recording this, and since then, different days have recorded events of him trying to justify the argument that his warning was accurate because of what he felt, based on information that he was given, that he was right. But the problem lies is that the satellite information, the spaghetti model that he claimed, which he fucking released later on, was on a Wednesday the week before, but his tweet came out on the Sunday, which the hurricane Noah came out and had a different track altogether, which Alabama was not part of that. So that spaghetti model, right? Not the Sharpie thing that's been going around with all the fucking memes like nonstop.
Right.
But the spaghetti model that he had.
Are you sure about this? Because I saw your question on Facebook.
Right. That's the question I had. Right. So it's a South Florida Water Management I forget development.
Whatever.
Development.
Okay.
Is where the satellite image or the spaghetti model came from that he released. Right? So I downloaded that image and I did a Google image search. And then it came back, we can't find it. Yielded nothing in Google image other than it says, it could be Hurricane Matthew. Is that what you're looking for? I'm like, Hurricane Matthew? I wouldn't put it past that they had to find some kind of data to kind of look like this was for Dorian. So I put it on Facebook and Twitter. I'm like, can anyone help verify this? And I got no response. So what I did as a librarian, I emailed the South Florida Water Management Company.
Wow, slow day?
No, but that's what I would do. And I sent them an email. I said, how can I get this satellite data, the images that he sent out on that day for this storm? Here, I got the email this morning. So they showed me like 3 or 4 stills from the day that he...
Happy to help.
Right. I'm like, here, there it is.
I'm the general inquiries. This is my job. Here you go.
And I'm like, holy shit, that's great that they responded back. No questions asked. Here you go.
Public information. Here
because I could not find that information backdated. So they have it, but they have the current model up there right now. And lo and behold, it's legit. But it's still out of date anyway.
Right.
But it was just like, I'm kind of glad that I was able to kind of make sure that what I put out there as a question was validated. I mean, I backed it up with something else, and now I have a fact.
The sad thing is that there was some intern at the White House that like, I need to find proof of this.
Right.
Like, oh, okay.
So, but here's a Sharpie. We'll just circle on the outside. No one's going to know. How'd that get there? I don't know. I didn't do it. And then I thought I heard something in the news about his, someone in the Coast Guard is going to take the fall, saying he was the one that provided the information to the president for him to then make this honest mistake based on faulty information.
It does. People are flooded in the Carolinas.
I know, exactly.
None of this is important.
Right.
Sir, please get to the rescue efforts.
Right. Of all the fucking things, your ego is getting in the way of your fucking
It's
duty.
gotten in the way all the time. But we're making this political. It shouldn't be a political show.
So, if we had some paper towels, I would throw it at him. There. Your job is done. So, let's move on from that fuck face to
An orange fuckface.
a whole different set of news, which you know, a lot has happened since Comic-Con. One of the things that we saw, we'll talk about the stuff that we've been watching, but like the trailers. The Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, which was the second one, which to me kind of like you're spending a whole lot of time
In flashback mode.
in flashback
Yeah, I
mode,
know.
even with
It's a
prequels.
J.J. Abrams production. We're going to do this all again.
Right.
Great.
But we're doing the originals and the prequels first before we get to our new stuff.
Wait, the minute of new stuff.
Right. So you're building and you're like, really? You want to make me feel like I have the feels again? No. So the whole moment, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure. Oh, fuck it. Just screw it. Just spoil it. No, the last shot is Rey holding the double-bladed lightsaber.
As a Sith person.
As a Sith.
Which was hot. But I don't think that's actually going to happen in the movie. It's just
Yeah.
a vision, I think.
You know, you can be a Jedi in the streets, but you can be a Sith in the sheets.
Space Hermione's not going to go evil, though.
Which the Star Wars website fucked up-ish, and they were kind of talking about the trailer and how it was like this vision of Rey that we've never seen before.
Sure.
And that's the intent, was like it was a vision, not the vision of Rey, meaning that this was a vision. This is not true. This is not what's going to happen to Rey. Kind of like when she went in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's going to be like the tree thing.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what that is.
What's in there? Only what you bring with you.
Right.
Well, Rey brought her fucking lightsaber, so here you go.
Right. Or when Luke fought himself in Dagobah, and you know,
Darth Vader then...
and then his
owns
face popped
it.
off, and then there's his face. Yeah. So same thing. That's the circle, so to speak. The
We
poetry.
believe that's what we
Right.
believe is going to happen. So.
Right. So the big payoff really didn't pay off much of anything.
But that cool lightsaber. That's the staff. It's like the staff he's been carrying with her for the whole two movies.
No,
Ish.
no, because you flick it out like a switchblade in reverse, which was stupid to begin with.
Look, every Star Wars movie has to have a new lightsaber. A new villain has to have a new lightsaber every time.
No.
Most of the time, I think so. Well, Darth Vader, no. Well,
No,
prequels.
it was just really Darth Maul having the two.
Yeah, but then Dooku had that weird curvy lightsaber. and
Yeah,
then-
but that's more of the hilt,
and-
not the blade itself. I
So
mean,
wait, let me get this straight.
Here
So
we
the
go.
first blade lifts.
and the second one cuts off your head.
All right, we got to stay focused.
Right, but like Ventress was the first one that I remember having two lightsabers and would fight with that. Now, if Rey did that and then put the two together and as one blade, then that would have been kind of like, oh, that looks kind of cool. But the fact that it's two blades that she's holding on to one and then she kind of kicks it out to kind of make a long staff bow thing, I don't know, right? Whatever you call that thing. The bow that the staff.
I think the two blades together next
Right.
are cool. Use that.
Yeah, but I don't see how that could be something that you can fight with effectively. Because you have to hold only one.
I know.
Whereas Kylo's blade, I kind of understand why the little two are on the outside. Because if you're fighting close, you still have a little
You can-
extra
yeah,
edge.
you can jab.
Right, so you had the little flare. I get that. So that's kind of cool. But So moving that aside, the Mandalorian
Stormtrooper heads.
brought hope where there was no hope for me, at least for Star Wars. And it felt so much more like Star Wars than Star Wars has been in a very long time.
True.
The fact that we saw IG-88,
It's not IG-88.
I know, but
An IG-88 thing.
Like
thing,
right.
yeah.
The fact, because we've seen this in the Clone Wars, which you haven't.
Sorry.
I know. But we've never seen it in action. So the fact that we got to see this thing in action and how it operated, how it like would stand still, move his head one way, it was able to shoot in two different directions, phenomenal. So I was really happy to see that happen.
Yet the biggest question I think about that trailer was like, do you think that guy that got in the Iris stories, do you think he's okay? Did he get cut in two? Really? That's the question you're at? Okay. I don't know.
So, but you know, it's 10 episodes.
Each one directed by a different director. I
Right.
think.
With Favreau being the first one.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Disney streaming service, you take my money. Take my money.
That's basically what it is. And then, of course, the news after that, you know, the three additional shows.
Things, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel,
and
and
Moon Knight. So, oh my God. I just think that that's just...
Just take my money, get it done. But that's going to be like 2 years from now.
I know, but still.
They're working on it.
Yeah.
And then they can put it in the movies if they want to because it's connected.
And that's the way it should have been with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but no. Which it's still, well, the last season technically has not aired, but it has been filmed. So they're done.
It's in the can.
It's in the can. So
Like
as
the
the last...
Picard's in the can too.
Yeah. So like as the last episode was being aired for this season, they were also filming for next year. So they're done. So the show is completely done.
And yet,
we won't see it until
the
next
Avengers
year.
will never meet Phil Coulson again and never know what happened to their old friend
or even
for reasons.
or even explain why this is happening.
Because it's so convoluted now.
Oh, it is really convoluted because now they've gone back into the past, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of remade Coulson. I'm not going to go any further than that because it's stupid beyond logic. But they reconstructed him basically.
I'm just thinking now. When they went back to the original Avengers movie, couldn't they have saved Coulson? Or was he already dead at that point? I think he was already dead at that point.
No, because he was already dead at that point.
But,
yeah,
but
because it was
you've
about
gone back a few minutes earlier.
right. It was the Battle of New York because there was the battle at New York.
And
Right.
look, he was out already.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
you could have, you could have brought him in. You could have, oh, hey, you're safe, and then that would make it interesting. Like they just
Then-
think, it never happened.
Or
Alternate reality.
right. Or again, the simple matter of the fact, you know, you can easily do the blip or the snapping in which Coulson disappears again. And like, you know, and then he's brought back. Like, what the hell happened to you? Well, I was gone for 5 years. Something, you know, to tie in like it did for the first season. But
And yet the time travel in that Avengers Endgame movie makes no sense.
no, it still doesn't.
Still doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No matter how many times I listen to the Empire podcast about
The
this
Russos talk about it. You're like,
No, right. It still doesn't work. No matter how many times you talk, it's enjoyable as fuck. But the problem lies when you analyze it, the timelines are all completely screwed regardless because it doesn't go back to its normal timeline. If I take the jewel and put it back where I got it from, fine. But Steve Rogers, by the very nature, he's stuck in the past and changes everything.
Right, and you're not going to tell Peggy Carter, the woman that you're with now, since you're in the past, about the rise of Hydra inside of S.H.I.E.L.D.? You're not going to warn her about that?
Right.
No, I don't know.
Or maybe that he stopped it. But then that would have changed everything in the future.
Change the timeline, right.
So
then you wouldn't come back to that same point.
Right. So it gets really fucking confusing and almost makes like no sense. So whatever. So aside from that, I don't think there was anything else that was major from the D23 convention.
Oh no! Wait. There's Kit Harington that was added to the cast.
Was added for the internals, yes.
as the Black Knight.
Yes. Which I know the Black Knight because he was part of the Defenders comics way back when they had Hulk.
Defenders or the Avengers? I know he's part of the Avengers.
Defenders.
That's why I know him from the Avengers when he was on.
No,
that.
I know him from the Defenders.
Yes, and you're a Valkyrie fetish.
Yes. Well, Gene, we all have fetishes.
I know.
Mine has 2 pointy things. Anywho,
Thor has
Yeah,
6.
I know. So he's like a cat, and he's a mammal, and he has nipples, so you can milk him.
You want to milk me? Huh? Sorry, it's terrible. I got nipples. Oh Jesus.
Although, if you had a choice to milk him, is it Fat Thor or is like the lean Thor? Because it doesn't work if it. Anyway, so also Labor Day weekend, which we haven't gone to, but which DragonCon.
Have you watched any of those videos?
Not so much the videos. I didn't even see the parade at all, or even snippets. But I did see lots of pictures, and I'm like, oh my god, I really want to go back to DragonCon, and hopefully next year we can.
You want to go back? Go back, do it all over.
Yeah.
But you can't go back right now. You can't.
No, but it was kind of frustrating because we were stuck waiting for Dorian to hit, and then seeing all these great pictures, and I'm like, oh.
Yet if we'd been there, no, it didn't. It was coming towards Georgia, but I don't.
No. After the fact.
After, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they
would've been
were
gone.
fine.
We would have been fine.
Yeah, but it was the fact that
That's a nice spicy fried chicken, that beautiful barbecue.
I know, but it's like because of our families down here, we were like, no, we got to leave, that kind of thing. So whatever, wouldn't have worked. Oh, excuse me, drinking again. So the last time we spoke, we watched The Boys. It was on
Yes.
Amazon Prime. So that has become Amazon's biggest show, and which they
Got
need.
legs and it's running.
Right, and they're already doing second season before it even premiered. It's a fantastic show, and I'm not going to
Very dark. Very dark.
Yeah, right from the very beginning.
Nudity, gore,
Yeah,
and the darkness.
Yeah.
A darkness wrapped in the soul, deep in the souls, in the belly of the show, and yet so funny and amusing at times, and so
Yeah.
scary.
it's like it's not even like the Tick kind of parody,
No.
but it's a parody of a different nature that's kind of like twisted, and it's fantastic at times just to watch. A lot of great performances. The guy who does Homelander is fantastic. Elizabeth Shue is phenomenal in this. And you feel sorry for characters who are dicks in the beginning, and they have
They become mildly sympathetic.
towards the end. And I really cannot have enough positive words for this show. So I do need to read the book.
So many issues.
I know. But, like me trying to read the Before Watchmen Omnibus, which is over 1,000 pages, I kind of stopped literally at 500. I'm like,
You didn't finish Shadowlands.
no, Shadowlands, in fairness, and isn't that it right there in your...
Yeah,
right there in your
It's
pile.
holding up my...
Yeah. How is that working out for you, Shadowlands?
Haven't touched it yet.
Right. At least I have. Get on my ass. So the only problem is that because it's on Hoopla, I can't read it because the first couple of panels, who is the head guy of the Boys?
Billy Butcher.
Butcher is fucking the FBI.
They
Right off
have
the
a
bat,
relationship.
right?
Great.
So right
Okay.
off the bat, I'm like, shit, I can't even watch this or read this while I'm at work because it's on the screen. So I had to
You have to go home. It's got to put you to sleep.
No, not even that. It's just I know it's gonna get worse.
It is.
Yeah, but it was like, oh, why does he look like Simon Pegg?
Right.
Because
There's a reason for
that's
that.
the reason why he's in
it,
the
right.
in the show.
They
But-
wanted him as
Right.
Huey, but
right. So I'm like, the two of them is still. I don't feel like the age difference is there yet. Like, but it's weird to see that Simon Pegg was in a comic book, but he wants to be in the show. as
Samuel
the-
L. Jackson is in the freaking Ultimates.
Yeah, I know, but that's a little bit different.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. All right. What else do we have? I started watching the first episode of Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, and right off the bat, I had issues because I know this takes place before the
Yeah,
movie
right,
long
right.
ago, I had no idea that. And I'm not going to go into details, but there was like a lot more of the Gelflings that we were originally introduced.
There's only two.
Right.
At the beginning,
But
Jen and Kara.
but in the beginning of the series, we see there's a lot more than two. There's a lot more.
Sure, because it's a prequel.
Right. So this is like an expansive world that I'm like, okay.
And the Skeksis, they eat them, don't they? They to preserve their life force.
It will get to that point.
Right. Because I
Yeah.
hadn't seen the Dark Crystal.
Which is amazing things, again, I find out about you.
I was scared. Puppets were scary back then.
Gene, that was last week.
I know. So I watched it, and I'm like, well, okay, that's small child.
Yeah.
Okay, puppet, small child. And yet, to me, it was funny. I was watching, and I'm like, well, it's so slow, but it was. I think it's Jim Henson's Avatar.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Literally, it is Avatar.
It's because it's really slow, but that world building is like, wow. Okay, but how long is this scene gonna take? We're just gonna hold on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, again, these were practical effects.
I know,
And,
which I was impressed with.
right. And we go back to, we're doing this practical again, which is
Is that the Netflix show?
a lot of it's going to be practical.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and it's fine. So the problem was that I already had problems to begin with because I'm like, I didn't understand what was going on with this world, and they left out the mystics.
What? There's no mystics in it?
There was no mention of them.
Well, in the first episode, you only got through the first episode,
Right. So that's where I said, I have to stop.
Because I'm getting angry.
Literally, I'm getting angry. And not that I had a problem with the episode, but I was already angry at, there was a couple of lines that was from the movie already said, and like, don't do that. It's like when Indiana Jones, right, in the scene where he shoots a guy with a sword, right? Takes out a gun, boom, shoots him.
That's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right. And then you go Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Right.
He does the exact same bit.
And that's in the prequel.
But it's a prequel, which doesn't work because he's like looking for the gun, it's not there. That joke does not work if it's a prequel.
Right.
It only works if you know what came before, but it came after, so it doesn't work. So,
But most moviegoers weren't paying attention. They don't know it's a prequel. I mean, we do because we're dorks.
I know
We're
that's the
special
sad.
people.
That's the sad part. And here's another little tidbit fact: that was the last PG movie before it became PG-13,
Right,
and that was the movie of that movie.
Yeah, the Poltergeist, I think.
No. It's like, no, we can't do PG. This is not a PG movie. Let's do PG-13. All right, fine.
13?
PG-13.
Random date, just after the age of 12.
Right.
Yeah.
They're teens. God damn. Short round. So I lost my point with.
You told the joke and then you forgot.
No. But what was that? Why was I making this reference?
We're talking about
the Dark Crystal. Right. But why did I say this? God damn it.
You're getting old.
See this finger, Gene? This does not mean you're number
You're
one.
not a proctologist. What are you doing?
Don't go in that angle. God damn it. I just lost my train of thought about the Dark Crystal.
You want to start the podcast over again?
Take 14. But regardless, I have to rewatch the movie,
The Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal, and I have to then start the series. But me being a librarian,
Because I'm a librarian. Yes, go ahead, Monty.
I know books. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Oh my God, Dad! And you wouldn't use that. You're like,
And I didn't.
You're like, nope,
and I
nope.
didn't.
For this joke,
For this joke, I did. So, I know because I've ordered books from my branch back.
All right, you're going to talk about your quest, your reading quest. Go ahead. Yes.
Right.
Share that with us.
Right. So, J.M. Lee, a couple years back, started producing books, or at least writing books, based upon the world of the Dark Crystal. So, the 3 books that he wrote right now, which is available, takes place before even the Age of Resistance.
Oh my God.
Right. So,
backstory.
Right. So even before there was an Age of Resistance series, you had a story before that.
You are a dork. Go ahead.
And then a 4th book, Gene, is coming out in November. So right now,
Oh, yeah, how much have you read?
let me get there.
How much of this have you eaten?
Let
Did
me
you eat
get
human
there.
food, Ponyo?
Let
Did
me
you?
get there, goddamn you. So let me get. Stop rubbing your eyes. They're gonna fall out again.
I'm Asian.
Ancient Chinese secret, huh? Some superhero you are. All right, so we have
Some
now.
superheroes wear their capes on the inside.
I know. So we'll have 4 books by J.M. Lee, who also serves as, I believe, an executive consultant on the Age of Resistance series, right?
Okay.
All right. Let's not stop there. There's more. There is a graphic novel. There's actually 2 of them before these books, right?
I hope you've got a trail of breadcrumbs or a ball. of
I
string
already
that you're
have
gonna
it.
wind
I
in.
already have it in my show notes
Okay.
because I'm going to do a serious deep dive
Oh Jesus.
when I get to finishing everything, and I mean fucking everything.
Okay.
All right, so
So you guys got to look forward to that.
so
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to listen to that, aren't I? Like, really? Oh, that's so fascinating. Oh my god.
look, Gene, no one listens to our shit, so no one's going to listen to my shit. I don't expect you
I'm
to
sorry.
listen
I've
to
got
it.
a friend out there listening. Misha's out there listening to us.
Misha. Hello, Misha. Maybe we'll get to Misha one day. So before the movie takes place, there is also a graphic novel, but it's like a small little vignette, like 3 short stories, but they're all interconnected. And I read it real quick. It's like 50 pages. Really cute. So then you have the movie. And then there's graphic novels after the movie. 2 different series after.
And you got this all out of the library, or some of this on Hoopla?
A combination
A
of
wonderful
both.
application that everyone should use if you can.
Right. So far I was able to get everything through my library. The only thing, the beginning series, the Creations of Myth, I could not get that through the library. I had to get through Comixology.
Ooh, you have that?
No. I had it because I didn't know that when you have a trial run, I forgot about it, so they kept charging me for months. I'm like,
Oh!
but it's like $5.99. But I'm like, where's this $5.99 coming from? So finally, just like one day, like not that long ago, I'm like, let me do some research. Oh, I've had this long. Oh God! So I canceled, but I still had it until like literally like yesterday. So I started reading. I know, but the second one is not available through Comixology, so I would have to buy it. I'm like, I don't want to do that, but I can at least read the first one. But everything else I have through the library or through Hoopla, and because we also have Netflix, the movie Dark Crystal, because I have that in our library too. But there's like 12 issues for the first series, which takes place 100 years after the Dark Crystal, and then another one after that. So it's the power, I believe, the power of the Dark Crystal, and then beneath the Dark Crystal. So it gets to be like almost very Planet of the Apes shit, like Escape from the Planet of the Apes, beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes. I mean, it's like enough of the Planet. It's always about this, but it's always about the Dark Crystal. So.
Okay. So
Okay.
is it still broken? No, the Dark Crystal in the beginning.
I'll give you a quick little synopsis, right?
Okay.
All right. So Jen is the one who has the shard that has to restore, right?
I sat there and I watched that scene literally, and I was like, wow, so this is like, okay, the piece of booze door. This is like it's another thing. Just yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
All right. So boom, it fixes everything. All right, back together again. All right.
Good, you're downloading porn and it's done. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No. So that happens. The story that takes place 100 years after, Jen and Kira are kind of like running the joint, basically.
Okay.
They're overseeing.
So they live over 100 years?
Apparently so.
Jeez.
So, but in any case, a being falls out of the sky that needs a shard to help restore her people's. So they need to like take the shard out of the crystal.
Are you okay? Yeah. Okay.
So that's the beginning stories of, she's meeting Kira and Jen for the first time. Basically, she's there to try to help her people, but she needs a shard. So I'm like,
take the shard, throw it out in the middle of Antarctica, and it builds
a fortress of solid too for girl things. So I'm like, really? we just put the fucking thing in. Now you want to take the fucking thing out?
That was 100 years ago.
Right, exactly.
And it reformed the Skeksis and the Mystics. And
Don't get me started on that whole thing, because that's why I stopped after the first episode. Because it's like, I always thought that they were separate until they joined up again. Right. But no, that doesn't seem to be the case. So I have this theory. It's amazing how much information
you realize you've got like 15 minutes.
I know.
Just go ahead.
And we haven't even done our podcast yet. So I started thinking about...
Mr. Trump, did you Sharpie? Is that you? Go ahead.
So how do we get the Mystics? So not that I'm moving ahead, but I just want to see how many episodes of Age of Resistance are there. I think maybe the last episode, number 10, there's an image of a bunch of Gelflings.
You looked ahead. You did.
No. I didn't read. I just looked at the image. It's like a bunch of Gelflings around a fire. And I kind of counted, and I'm like... I started thinking, could the Gelflings, based on what the lack of we see in Dark Crystal, could they become the Mystics? This last band. That's what I'm thinking.
Seriously.
Yeah.
The only problem with that, though, is that the Mystics are part of... They're separating from the Skeksis.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it is the Circle of Life thing. I'm following your theory, but I'm like...
So that's the driving force. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can prove my hypothesis. Is this what's going to happen?
Just watch 9 more episodes.
No, because I'm taking in consideration of the books, the graphic novels, and everything.
This is not going to end the way you think.
No, Gene. It's a never-ending story.
Oh. That was good.
Thank you. And I was just like, wait for it. Wait for it. Although, going back to Stranger Things, there was, and I only know this, and I'm pretty sure in the last season of Stranger Things 3,
right?
There's a music cue taken from the Dark Crystal, and it was like the little podlings. They were having some kind of festival,
sure,
and like I know that music because I've listened to this goddamn soundtrack so many damn times, which I cannot find on Hoopla. I cannot find it even on Google Play. I only have the album, and I can't find my album to play it. So I had to listen to fucking YouTube and just stream the soundtrack just to kind of relive those moments. But I'm like, I know that music, and it's playing on Stranger Things 3. And I think it was when, who was it that wants to do the Dungeons and Dragons? Is it Will?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Will Byers, right?
Right.
Yeah, it is.
So there was some kind of weird, mystical, like kind of Renaissance music thing. That's where it's from. There's your tidbit for today. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I'm well, I'm sure my friend Misha's asleep now.
So
she listens to the podcast to go to bed, by the way.
So this is me at my nerdiest.
Are you taking your medication, for God's sakes? Sure, okay. At least you're not obsessed about Star Trek anymore. He's moved on to something else now. You know, it's just a TV show.
It's more than a TV show.
Oh my God!
Oh, it's just, you know, when you really, not so much you love this thing, but you're going down this direction, and you want to know more. You want to know more?
Yeah, I got it.
You want to buy this for $1? So
here, pull my finger. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's one of those things that I'm like, you get into your things that I'm like, everyone has their thing that they're like they love. But this is a thing that like I'm kind of stuck in this rut. Just like when I'm like,
really? I think so?
No, you get excited for this thing like Shadowland or like before Watchmen. Yeah, it looks immense. Like, you know, like it's 1,000 pages. Like I'll do this. And for the most part, it starts out great with Shadowland and before Watchmen.
Right, and then-
but then halfway through, like, oh, fuck it. So I may be at some point while I'm just watching a Star Crystal, like, oh, fuck
A
it.
year from now, I'm like, so Monty, how's that Dark Crystal thing going? Like, oh, fuck.
Fuck it.
No, I get it though. I was so mad when I saw Prometheus,
Right.
Because I was like, all right, and it's the alien universe, but it's not. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's all lined up perfectly. Why don't you just call it the alien universe?
Right.
I hated it, and
Right.
I was angry, and I watched both the freaking commentaries with the different writers, and I was like, just angry.
Yeah,
You
because
didn't- you
it was supposed to be
prequel.
and then Alien, right?
Right.
No.
It's all lines up. And
I want to do 5 more movies. What? God.
congratulations, you squeezed one out, and that's it, and you're done, and you
And-
ruined
and-
Prometheus.
But technically,
Mm-hmm.
now that Disney owns Fox, the Alien Queen is a Disney princess.
Disney Queen.
Disney Queen.
Like Elsa. She and
But-
Elsa can go to the higher podium on your birthday cake.
There you go. But it's the kind of big thing that I didn't think the Dark Crystal can be this massive as a world to begin with.
Well, I didn't think Avatar was going to get fucking sequels either.
Exactly. That's exactly the point.
You're doing that? Really?
Wait, how many sequels?
Yeah.
And you're doing how many at the same time?
And you're letting Tim Miller do the Terminator series? Okay.
So,
Good luck to that.
and the weird thing is that they had a contest for writers to do like short stories for the Dark Crystal. And there was a whole bunch of books, like short stories, and they actually have a collection. But J.M. Lee basically was the winner and got to write these books.
It's not fanfic if it gets published. Good for you.
So Jen and Kira, have special relationships with the podlings and have some kind of weird podling fetishes things. But that's your fan fiction, not mine. Anywho. So again, it's me figuring out like, wait, there's more to this story. And I'm like, I want to see how this is all going to unfold. Now, put that in the context of Amazon is, producing
Shows.
5 seasons of stories for the Lord of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings stories, but within that universe.
I'd have forgotten that.
Right. So they had to pay like $1 bazillion to the Tolkien
Tolkien estate,
estate
right.
just to get the rights and then to guarantee they will get X amount of episodes, which I think is ridiculous, like 22 or something like that per season. So
Well, Amazon's not paying taxes. So
don't get me started on that shit.
that's
But
according to Bernie. That's
Right.
I don't know.
But that's the kind of thing you would think that the circle is closed with the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King. No, we got a prequel. Fine, we'll do The Hobbit. 3 fucking movies of The Hobbit.
Should have been 2.
Right. You could have gone with 1. I'll give you 2, but 3, too much. So you think that's it? No. Now we're going to still do more stories within that realm. Kind of like Watchmen. Watchmen is doing a future version of the events from...
But that's fine. That's
That's
on
what-
fire. That's just wow. I'm looking forward to that.
Right. That works just because that was a launching point, and then we can kind of continue to see how that world looks like after that. But then you do have something as dense as like the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan.
Oh, God.
That's going to be brought to the TV series land, and that's also those books.
Who's doing that?
I thought it was Amazon. I could be wrong, but I don't know who's producing it. I know it's been in the works for a while, but those books are massive. Easily, and there's like 11 books in this damn series, the Wheel of Time series. So right now there's just so much content that I thought I would never ever see being produced as a TV show or a TV series along that line. So just imagine me being one person, just like
You're not going to be able to keep up with this much. There's too much out there.
right. So
Have you seen the Westworld yet? No, I haven't.
No.
Guys,
So even though we've gone as far as we can with Netflix with certain shows, and then we have to wait.
Netflix is gonna once that Disney streaming service comes out, Netflix is gonna suffer badly.
But Netflix is going to do the Sandman series supposedly with Neil Gaiman. So that's another thing.
What about the Mark Miller thing? That Mark Millar, they have
right?
They have a contract with him.
Still waiting on that.
What are you doing with that?
Because you would thought that the Losers was like a Mark Millar production because of what he does, like in the Kick-Ass books, but nope, not yet. So let's put the Age of Resistance to bed for now. So
yes, please.
The other one I've watched recently was Batman Hush.
I didn't like Batman Hush. I remember the story.
Right.
Thomas Elliott is Hush, not this fucking Riddler reorigin. You have to reread it because
I know
you would have thought I was like, no, bitch, no. That's like the Batman sleeping with Batgirl. No, it didn't make sense. I was like, no, this is you reimagined it. Fuck you, people.
Yeah.
Stop altering the story, please.
But that's what happens a lot. That
you don't fuck with classic stories.
We lucked out like with Superman Doomsday, that they comprised all those books into like one movie, and that screwed it up and gave Superman those weird cheekbones that I hated. Right.
Right.
So they redid it.
That Japanese animation is like, we just gave it to overseas people.
Yeah.
This is what they came back with. Okay.
Okay, to just kind of eraser and mark it out. So thankfully they remade it and did it in 2 parts, and it was fantastic. I enjoyed that a lot better. So, look, I think the problem lies just because it's been a while since I've read Hush, and even though I'm reading it right now, like Huntress is not even mentioned at all in the series, but she was in the very beginning of it. So
it's everyone in it,
right? Exactly.
And again, Superman versus Batman. I love that.
Superman's in there. Bye. Done. Okay. So you really can't do a long story. Now, if they, let's say, do a TV series, maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 6 episodes of a book, I will go with that.
A TV series. An animated TV series?
Yeah. So if you do like a Batman series based on this, right? Like the Long Halloween?
Yeah.
Right. That's like 12 issues, if I'm not mistaken.
It's I read it. It's good. It's fine.
Okay. So within that, you can do 1 issue, 1 episode an hour. Just animate that. Ish.
I think that might happen eventually once the What If series hits. If that's a hit, then DC's got to go. Oh shit, we gotta do something to compete.
Right. So and it's still DC still has a better product when it comes to animation, but I think
because they didn't give up on it.
Right.
And the Marvel stuff once they got owned by Disney, the whole thing just mutated in some weird manifestation. Like the original Avengers Assemble show was really good.
Right.
But then Disney got hold of it, and it was like,
yeah,
now we're going to change the show. We're going to rename it and make it more like the movies. And you're like, oh, you fuck this. That's terrible. And even the Guardians of the Galaxy thing that came out, it's crap.
It's all messed up.
But Tron Uprising was good. I've heard.
You heard.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it. So let's hold out for another time.
Oh, yeah. There'll be a beat up Gene.
No,
Gene, have you seen this or not?
No, it's just that anytime I see something that's done overseas, especially like a French production, it has a weird a weird way of storytelling. I didn't get it.
Like the Minion movies? Like, what?
What else? So I've been reading I finished the Immortal Hulk, at least the 3 volumes.
Right, 3 volumes. Because we're graphic novel people.
And
he works at the library.
And I was kind of like, well, what do I read next? I'll do that because you talking to me about how you liked the storyline.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. The gore, the fascination for me though was that this book is outselling Tom King's Batman.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why they're kicking Tom King off the book.
Right.
Because you can't even keep up with the Hulk, so we're letting you go. You said you'd get 100 issues, but you're not going to get that.
Yeah. So my thing reading it from the very beginning was, you have a hero and you have certain parameters. Like you have Superman and Kryptonite. You have Batman and you have Vengeance. You have the Hulk who always gets angry or is Bruce Banner gets angry and then he turns into the Hulk. So you kind of are stuck doing similar things, but you kind of fudge with those parameters, and you got this story. So the story is, and if you haven't read it, Bruce Banner can get killed during the day, but at night, which is the weird part of this, the Hulk comes out regardless.
But he can't, and the Hulk can't die.
Right.
But also they pass it on to other heroes like Doc Samson and all these other gamma-rated heroes as well, which is interesting. Like, all right.
Yeah. So it becomes like a werewolf story where, you have the man and the beast, man by day, beast by night, that kind of situation. So it's not a bad way to do this, but I kind of liked the old days where it was either you had the dumb Hulk.
Right, which is creepy. The Hulk is talking,
right,
and teaching moral lessons,
right, exactly, and having full conversations.
Oh, okay, but you killed that girl, so I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. She'll never walk again. Even though you're like fighting the mob bosses, and like, oh well, I guess he's not. What?
Yeah, so it gets weird. I mean, we start moving along like with the Avengers, and you get the Hulk and
that
Bruce.
Was cool. Yeah, that was nice.
And that's fine, but to come from the origins of where Hulk was like Hulk smash to let's contemplate on this, and I'm like, come on, it's a weird mix. But again, you've been doing comics, you're gonna have to take different creative choices.
But that's the thing. It's the idea of the writer,
right?
Like I can take it in a different direction. We just killed the Hulk.
Right.
Hawkeye just killed him for Civil War II. Like, can you save this? Can you do? Yeah, I can do something with that.
Yeah,
there you go.
And the interesting part was at one point. You separate the Hulk like in pieces, and it's still alive.
And he can still control the different pieces of himself. Which
right.
Is like, yeah, okay.
So at one point, he flips off the guy who thought he won. Basically, his finger is giving the other guy the middle finger, which is hysterical. But the thing that I pointed out to you was that, all right, so the Hulk escapes. And basically he rejoins. But then how is his pants able to kind of rejoin on his ass? That makes no sense. Because his body parts are all in jars. And I get the whole body then comes together. But then next thing you know, his pants are on his ass.
You can't have a naked Hulk running around.
God forbid. But you could do it on Thor Ragnarok. We saw Green's Hulk ass.
And you can see Batman's penis.
God. And he sways to the left, I think. I'm sorry. He dresses to the left. Okay, this
We're dorks.
DC Black Label.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Johnny Walker Black Label. I prefer that.
Yeah. So I'm assuming there's more because I haven't finished. That like the series is still
it's still going on.
Yeah, okay.
It's just we've reached the end of our graphic novel.
Right.
Through the library.
Right. We're binging the comics, so to speak. So the other thing I started reading also was Batman White Knight.
Yes.
Which it's because
there's a new they're continuing that now.
Okay.
In comics.
Okay. So basically it's a role reversal where the Joker becomes sane thanks to pills that Batman shoves down his throat and basically cures his insanity. So Joker becomes literally the White Knight. He becomes the one who's the hero for Gotham versus Batman, who is now the villain. And I love it. I thought that was a nice spin on things. I loved how Jack Napier, not the Joker, started to have a relationship with the original Harley Quinn.
Right.
And they getting married. And it was just like, I felt so like enamored over them finally getting together and having that relationship.
I like the piece of art, I think that was similar to the Mad Love comic book. I was like, oh, that's a good homage. That's really clever.
So, but then as things turn out, like because the medicine is wearing off and it's losing its effectiveness, it's like, let's get married before this happens, and it kind of happens at the very end that
the more things change, the more they stay the same.
So he reverts back to the Joker. But at one point, it's like Jack Napier and or Joker, I should say, is in the Batmobile with Batman, and the two of them are fighting, as like a common enemy. So that was fantastic. And I haven't read a good Batman book in a while that I'm like, this is really cool. I never thought I would ever read that Jack is going this way or Joker's going that way. So aside from that, what else? What have you been doing?
I've been taking care of my mom.
Besides that,
I'm a caregiver.
No, I know.
I don't know. I've been. Wasn't ready for that. We haven't been in the movies in such a long time.
Yeah, and it was weird because I was kind of like starting to compile our year in review now as opposed to like later because we would forget what movies we watch or what to include. So I looked at the list. I'm like, really? We only saw like 10 movies?
No, we didn't. The summer was terrible for us. We didn't see anything really.
Right. And then I'm like, I'm compiling the
You want to see the Lion King movie? No. Do you want to see the Aladdin movie?
No. Frozen 2? Maybe. Cats? Fuck no.
Cats is creepy.
No.
So creepy.
I mean, why do cats need overcoats?
Where does the tail go?
Did they kill other cats and wear their fur?
Some of them are clothes, some of them are not. It doesn't
Right.
make sense. You're like, yeah.
Some can hold forks and knives, while others just, I don't know, dance kind of weird with two boobs. Not like, whatever. But the list went to movies that we were going to see or plan to see for the rest of the year.
Yeah, Men
It's
in
like
Black
over 30
International
episodes.
didn't see. I just
Yeah.
But it's expensive to go to the movies. It's okay. It's just that we're
Yeah.
too much out there. I mean, like, gosh, Spider-Man Far From Home came out, but we were all watching Stranger Things that weekend.
Yeah, and I think that is going to be kind of a weird dynamic.
We haven't talked about that. Spider-Man leaving the MCU.
Yeah. Kind of heartbreaking, but I understand that deal was only going to be lasted until that time.
Yeah, and Disney was a bitch.
Right.
Disney cut itself.
Yeah. Disney's like, you know what? I think you're going to give me more money.
Yeah. Let's split the cost of the movies. How about that, Sony? But we're keeping all the merchandise and stuff.
Yeah.
We just,
Yeah. So it's been back and forth, and it looks like it's not going to happen anytime soon.
It's sad though because the thing I get that Sony has the Spider-Man universe and Venom was a hit. I get that.
Right.
I get also that
Spider-Verse.
the Spider-Verse, but no one saw Spider-Verse.
Well,
even though it got an Oscar,
right.
You
it gives Sony the idea that yes, we have something, which is the Sony universe of Marvel characters, which is just Spider-Man's universe. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but the problem with that though is that I think Far From Home's movie budget, the movie people saw it was because it was tied to the MCU.
Right.
It's going to be so awkward when you separate that, and it's going to be upsetting.
Right. Unless you work into the multiverse, into the reason why Peter's separated, and explain that away. If one day Spider-Man does show up, but honestly,
I think the most important thing that Sony does right now is start working on that next movie. Now
they need to. They can't
to get everyone's confidence back.
Right.
And you still got the director, the original director. He signed on for the movie, so that's fine.
Right. But it's really the guiding force of having Kevin Feige on there, kind of helping mirror or like bring stuff that goes both ways for the Marvel and Sony to kind of work together. Otherwise, you're going to get like Andrew Garfield. You have a Spider-Man movie that does nothing, and you don't get a third. Luckily,
because Andrew Garfield stood at the Sony
Yeah.
executive, like, you're not going to go to the function? Okay, you're fired. Bye.
Yeah. But whatever. But that's the thing that I have a worry about is that, sure, Spider-Man in that universe, there are 900 characters, but I'm like, they're not going to be necessarily all great.
Right.
Sure, we're getting Morbius, the living vampire, but after that, are you going to do the Sinister Six? I would be kind of cool with that, but then after that, I'm like, look, I got tired of watching the Saturday morning cartoons. Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Too much Spider-Man. We've seen, I don't know how many animated series of Spider-Man over the years that you and I have watched growing up. It's always been Spider-Man being popular. and it's always a kind of similar storyline. Nothing's changed. Even MTV did their own computer generated version, which I kind of loved because Doogie Howser, what's his name?
Neil Patrick Harris
was Peter Parker. That was kind of cool, and I kind of dug that. But you haven't done anything different. So until like Spider-Verse came along and did something different, which is Miles Morales, and you have Spider-Man Noir, and you have a lot of different characters you can play with. Fine, then let's change it up. But otherwise, I think we're gonna get tired of Holland in a short while.
I don't know the fact that he was in a whole big box of crayons. You know what I mean? With all these beautiful colors, it was so fun to watch the interactions with the heroes.
Right.
Now we don't have that anymore, but it'll be fine till they can get him back if they can. Because
that's it. Because honestly,
it doesn't look like it's happening. I know
Marvel doesn't have to worry about a fuck of anything.
No, but I think that I'm glad this happened after the Endgame thing.
Right.
First of all, because that would have sucked. And the second thing is that Disney doesn't care because they still have the rights from. They're still building the park in L.A.
Right, which doesn't affect them anyway.
Right, they don't care. I'm like, all right, fine. Not more movies, but we got the park.
Right.
Come buy the merchandise, kids. Come on up.
Right.
Great. All right.
So we'll go from there. So after a fucking hour now of us catching up, which is par for course.
Yeah.
Because this is the kind of conversation that we have almost not on a daily basis. But
hear it again, yeah.
But for us to do the podcast, it's been a while, so this is why you got all that fun stuff.
It's just news.
Right. But you haven't heard it
Dark
before.
news, right.
So let's finally talk about DC's universe, the second season of Titans. So it was the first episode, and we thought of what about that episode?
I was okay with it. I was like, wow, okay, that at least they finished it all in one episode. That made me happy, and they finished the storyline with the whole because that last episode of season 1 was great. You loved it. It really was groundbreaking.
Right.
And it was one character, just the fall of Dick Grayson into the control of Trigon. That one episode. That was great. So this episode starts out, and we're getting all the Titans together. They go to the portal, and they're all brainwashed as well within like a few minutes. The first 35 minutes are spent on that.
Right.
Just the darkness. They all fall into darkness. And it was awfully convenient the way they got out of that. It was just like, yeah, all right. Fine. But I'm just glad at the end they've got their own little fortress. They've got their own little headquarters, and they're ready to start new adventures. So it's a complete episode, I think.
I will say this, that, and I'll step out of this for a moment. You got me hooked on watching Doom Patrol.
I'm glad you watched that finally. It's a superior show, I think. I'm sorry, I do.
And the reason why is because whoever's the showrunner understood who these characters were. Basically, when we saw them in Titans, it was a weird show within a show.
Right, because they were still forming their ideas.
Right. You didn't have Rita. You didn't have Cyborg at that time. Right. And then the doctor, the scientist, was kind of like the mad scientist of the group, and that story was kind of like, okay.
She wasn't in that one. I thought she was, but okay.
No. When you watch that series, right from the very beginning, they're misfits, and they each have a developing, interesting point of view from the character's perspective and how events of the storyline take place within that episode and carry over from episode to episode. Like, to me, the episode with Jane, when
they go into her psyche,
and you see all the different personalities,
and it makes more sense to you, and you're like, oh, this is perfect.
And I'm like, oh my fucking God, all this is fantastic. Alan Tudyk is amazing as Mr. Nobody. Everything about everything, the weirdness.
And
fucking Danny the Street. Oh my God.
Lex Mentallo.
It
blew your mind. It blew your fucking mind.
Everything about this was just fantastic. Now, putting all that aside, Titans takes a lot longer to kind of get up to steam to get the character, because literally they're on a road. They're trying to find who.
But I'm glad that Doom Patrol came out too against them. Like, oh shit, we got to step up our game.
Basically. But that last episode from season 1 was hands down fantastic. It was like, Alfred died.
But it was like an Elseworlds tale.
It basically was. But within that one episode, you saw so much potential of what this show could do.
Right.
But then when we watched this episode last time on Titans, it picks up after that. But then in that one episode, we're kind of doing away with what we were doing with the first episode, which is the release of Trigon, which is Raven's father. And I'm like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, that was solved.
That was it. The whole season, like the weird family of assassins that was tracking them in season 1, creepy.
Yes.
How Raven was the chosen one, and like the nuns were also creepy as well.
But it didn't make sense to me. That whole with Starfire, I'm the assassin. And then we just dropped that.
Right.
At the end, it's like, wait, what?
Right. So we do get flashbacks like for Coriander, Starfire. Nothing else really happens. I mean, we do get Hawk and Dove, that's a fantastic story. But I think what really kind of like move the story or move the ball forward with Titan, introduction of Jason Todd, who he was an ass to begin with because of his character, but it got really dark fast when he's beating on the cops, and then I was like, I'm doing this because I can't do this in Gotham, and like,
Batman's always watching me, and such a pain in the ass.
So
they'll think I'm you.
Right. So then but now we still have to figure out a reason to get everyone into the scene, including Donna Troy. So when you give the story arc for everyone turning to the dark side, so to speak, it doesn't have the exact same impact because it's like a couple of minutes, boom, you're done with your storyline, let's move on.
But it's such a quick fix at the end.
Right. And then Raven is able to fix it, which she looks better afterwards.
Yes.
Because she's got the enhanced jewel on her head and the longer hair and more blue hair or whatever.
Right. But it was such a basic story.
Yeah.
It's too basic for me.
Because they're Trigon. Yeah, I'm going to stand in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I killed killed your mom, and then I'm just standing here. Yeah.
So what was your plan then?
I'm just going to stand here. And my favorite thing is that the reporter goes, except for some dead birds, everything's fine. I'm like, there's a dead woman.
Yeah.
That you're not.
But, that's how they roll in their neighborhood.
No, my favorite scene, though, was like when they showed the new costumes off for a second.
Yeah.
And Gar's standing there for a second. Like, oh, wait. I'm like, why are they standing in these stupid alcoves? Just like, it's all part of your imagination.
Yeah.
Here's a preview of the costumes.
Right.
I'm like, all right, that's stupid.
So, and then we get Friend Zone Batman or Friend Zone Bruce.
We call it because of his the ties in Game of Thrones. That's what I call him, Friend Zone.
But he didn't do
nothing.
Nothing.
I'm like, when is Batman British?
But it was just like he kind of almost looked like Adam West's kind of flair.
That's what I thought. I was like, so we're doing this version of Batman. Okay.
Yes, chum. Yeah. What?
I'm sorry. Adam West did Adam West better than.
Let's talk about all the inadvertent dick jokes. Let Dick tell you all about it.
Dick will fill you in.
Oh my God. He's gone to bad Dick. Dick. Spotted Dick. It was just like, look.
I think that was just us, but because we're just.
I get his name is Dick Grayson.
Do you watch the show with subtitles normally?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
No, I do.
Okay.
No, and the reason why I do that, because every once in a while, not so much that I can't hear, but sometimes there's things that you may not hear.
Right, absolutely.
But it's uttered. And a perfect example was I watched THX 1138, which is Lucas's early movie before. Right.
You don't have to explain it to me. I got it.
For the listeners out there who may not know.
All three of you.
Again, this is me being nerdy.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's a scene. There's a scene where THX 1138 Robert Duvall is in, I guess, like a spinner type car. He's escaping, and he's listening to the chatters on there. And then someone says, "Oh my God, I think I ran over a Wookiee." And I'm like, "What?" So I had to rewind it and let it play. It's like, yeah, someone.
Turn the subtitles.
And it says, "I think I ran over a Wookiee." So I'm like, even back then, George was like, "I'm doing Star Wars, bitches. I'm dropping THX in here somewhere with Wookiees." So that's the kind of little
It's gonna
gems.
show up in all these Pixar movies.
Drop. That was a THX thing.
That was poor,
Thank you.
but yeah, I got it.
Whatever. Yeah, you got it. No one else is gonna fucking get it. So that's the kind of thing that I like to have that on for a reason. And two, sometimes they're talking too damn fast, or if I'm watching a British show like Doctor Who, I need it, especially
you need it. Yes,
especially for
he's Scottish. Yeah,
but
what did he say?
Fuck, I can't understand a word he said. So in itself, overall, it's good, but it just felt like you could have done this at the very end of season 1, and then season 2, like, okay, we'll start fresh.
No, you got to have a cliffhanger though.
Yeah, but even then, I just didn't feel like
it's no best of both worlds. It's not.
No,
it
it's
wasn't.
not. It's not a satisfying conclusion to what you just built up.
Right.
Because it was just 1, 2, 3, everyone's not possessed. 1, 2, 3, everyone's not unpossessed. End of story.
It's kind of like, oh God, no, we painted ourselves into a corner. What do we do? Here's an idea. Why don't we wait till the paint dries and just walk over it? That was the answer? That was what you're doing? Okay, I guess, sure.
So that's okay. We get to talk to Bruce for a bit. And it's like, well, then if you want to
Please do not put him in a Batman suit.
And I thought maybe he's like, there's something I want you to do for me. And then all it was, take fucking Jason with you. Take that fucker off my show.
He ruined my staircase and the motorcycle. I'm not supposed to care about money, but
right.
Jesus.
So that's the kind of thing I'm like, all right. So this is how we're going to go. Fine. So we're going to go into the Titan's Tower. All right, so that's kind of cool. Everything's all luxury and all that, but we don't see the actual Titan Tower.
No, it's just a building.
Just a regular building.
It's a building off Bayside. It's just right there.
In San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, what those...
What a treat.
God, you stole the fucking joke that I was going to set up.
You and I share the same brain patterns. It's not my fault.
Would you use rice and roni to make Rice Krispie treats?
No,
that would be disgusting.
Although Blueberry cereal and Frankenberry cereal is back on the shelves now.
It's always.
No, every Halloween, yeah.
Well, it's not every Halloween. It's just whatever didn't sell from last Halloween. It's back again. Because it always tastes stale. I'm just saying. Don't buy it from the Dollar Tree.
No kidding. Yeah, that's your first mistake.
Check the expiration date, kids. So, we'll go see what happens.
I hate, though, that it's not bingeable. It's like every week on Fridays at 9 a.m. we release it.
Let's ask this question and pose this to you and to me. Now that Disney Plus is coming, and they're going to be going back to or doing their model of once-a-week episodes, kind of like Game of Thrones, and that show was a success because it built up an audience.
But the scary thing to me is once I get Disney Plus, I don't plan on canceling that ever. It's just a given thing for me.
Right.
Because Disney is such a great name brand.
Right.
It's like Levi's jeans. It's like Wrigley Spearmint gum. You know what I mean? It's
Preparation H.
It's just one of the things like, oh, thank God. It's great. The scary thing is how big Disney's gotten.
Right.
The way like, yeah, you can't smoke in the theme parks, and we don't care.
Yeah, Gene.
I'm a smoker. I'm like,
and they said
I'm never going back to Disney now because I have to go back outside the front end. I can't do that.
Right. They purposely said you, Gene.
Yeah, me, Gene. For you, Gene, no smoking in the
Right. So, Netflix. Do you still want your episodes all together so you can binge it? Or do you have shows, because now the problem lies, original content is going to be now much harder for Netflix to do.
Right.
Do you still want to do the binging, or do you want to do the model like HBO and now Disney Plus?
It depends on the show, honestly.
Right.
Because Doom Patrol.
Right.
I was glad I got to watch it on a weekly basis because every episode was too fucking weird. You know what I mean? You'd watch and be like, "Oh God, what the hell just happened?" You need to digest it. If you binge that, it'd be like, "Oh my God, I don't know."
Right.
It'd be too much, but it was so entertaining. It was
Right.
always a joy to come back to it every week.
But when I got onto it, I can do.
You binged it.
I binged it a couple episodes at
Yeah.
a time. So I kind of like, oh, if I'm hooked, I want to have more. Kind of like when I needed your season 4 of Angel.
Yeah.
Like I need it now because I just finished season 3, and like I'll fucking come over and get it right now. I need it.
10 o'clock.
I don't care. Just get it. Just
Meet me outside.
So something like The Boys, because of the weekend it had was released, all the episodes were out, and that made a big impact for Amazon. So that's something that's short-lived. But do you want to have? I mean, again, like you said, it depends on the show. But I think it's going to be a hard mix to kind of balance.
The question is, do you really like the show? I mean, like you and I both watched one episode of Swamp Thing, which was
Right.
canceled, and like I didn't like it. I was just like, that's just
It
too
was okay.
weird. It was all right, but
No,
but it
Adrian.
has the same kind of weird appeal to like the Immortal Hulk,
Right.
the weird stuff that goes on. But I'm like, no, I don't like this.
And then too, and I thought about this. It's like, look, I know everyone has their territory. Batman has Gotham. Superman has,
Swamp Thing
Metropolis.
has the swamp.
Has the swamp.
What an unpleasant filming environment. It's just like, oh my God. Water gets in everything. Forget the sand. And again, okay, I'm sorry.
So, except for, Popeye's chicken sandwiches, there's nothing going on in Louisiana, in the bayou. There's nothing. Outside of that, Swamp
There's
Thing.
Princess Gianna and the Princess in the...
The what?
It's a Disney joke.
Princess and the Frog,
yeah,
really?
thank you, yes.
God, I'm going to have some beignets.
Beignets, yeah.
Thank you. And I still have some at home. That's me.
I remember going to New Orleans, and like, it was really weird. Just, wow, so this is like a Made for USA adult style. Never had I seen before a 3-for-1 happy hour. Never. Scary. But okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Did you ever have a muffaletta?
I'm sorry, what?
No, that's what I thought. I got into culinary delights that when I travel, whenever I do, specific things like a muffaletta sandwich is a thing I want to have when I get to New Orleans.
What is a muffaletta sandwich, please?
Let's look it up.
Muffaletta.
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 It's a good sandwich. So like beignets.
Okay.
Bananas Foster's was created there. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, I will go gaga for. So whatever. I mean, I'm not going to go to Kansas City to have the Kansas City fried chicken because I had it for the Kentucky fried chicken. I'm like, why is it all red? That's because they dipped it in that weird sauce, which is like Tabasco and butter and stuff. But, Swamp Thing is limited to just the swamp. So that was my point. It's like, how much stuff can happen within the swamps?
Well, the thing is, like, he's a spiritual creature, isn't he?
Right,
He's just connected
but-
to the earth and the land, and
Right, but then...
just the Pocahontas thing.
Punk-
He paints with all the colors of the rainbow. And he's really ugly.
Unless you're going to bring in, John Constantine or Dr. Fate, something
Which
that's
is
like,
cool. When that happens, that's awesome.
right, and then you whisk him out and then he becomes a team player. Like, Justice League Dark, another great animated movie I thought was fantastic. I didn't think you can work all these different characters.
Dr. Fate is a stripper. I'm like, oh my God.
Of all things, oh shit, really? You're doing that? Fine. All right, fine. That's not my Dr. Fate, but fine, whatever. But in like the live action TV series, you can see the Dr. Fate helmet in the background with Matt Ryan, which I'll get into my thing about Legends of Tomorrow in that season. I didn't like it.
Hey, Crisis of Infinite Earth is coming soon.
Which I'll talk about that in the next podcast.
Okay.
Which you don't watch DC shows like I do.
No, not like you. No one watches them like you do.
I was going to say
They suck. Some of them.
You suck. Martin Dick Grayson. So, we are going to get Doom Patrol Season 2 eventually.
Thank goodness.
No Swamp Thing.
Thank goodness.
The only thing that's coming up really soon, Harley Quinn, the animated series. I'm kind of looking forward to that. So a couple of things that are going to be for us, hopefully, to talk about. If not, one of us will do, meaning me. The Joker, October 4th. I did not see the.
Really highly anticipated.
I heard it got like an 8-minute standing ovation.
Yeah, but so did the other movies that I think whatever, I don't know.
What? Yeah, but it's gotten so far really good critical acclaim for Joaquin's performance, and we'll see what happens from that point on. But I'm really excited to see their version of how things are going to be done with their Joker
in the 80s. Yeah. I think that's fascinating.
Also, we have, of course, The Watchmen, which will come in on HBO. That'll be October 20th. Mandalorian will be November 19th. And then, of course, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker on the 20th of December.
Oh, and don't forget, I'm curious. So I know that's coming out.
Yeah.
But people are still angry with Star Wars. Hopefully The Mandalorian will warm that over and heal that wound. Hopefully.
And if not, honestly, go watch Solo or Rogue One, because those to me are better Star Wars movies than the last two of the trilogy.
I don't think it's going to be beaten, but Jumanji 2 is coming out around that same time. And I'm thinking...
Which I need to finish the first one. I didn't love it like a lot of people have, but honestly...
It's okay. I mean, I didn't love it either, but I'm like, okay, that's all right.
Yeah. So there's a lot more movies that we're still going to be talking about, but again, that's like over 30 movies, plus whatever stuff that we missed during the earlier part of the year is part of that now on DVD, so we'll review that as well.
We'll get those DVDs out.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see this in the theater, but I thought...
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, it's been kind of a lackluster summer, and honestly, I think after Far From Home, that was nothing else. Hobbs and Shaw, which was an August movie, which should have been...
But it didn't catch.
It didn't, because of Disney's fault. Because they were told to play in less theaters because they wanted bigger theater openings for
Lion King?
Lion King, yeah.
Yeah, that's because, we want the big screen. Otherwise, you're not getting Rise of Skywalker. I don't care.
Yeah.
Really? You're going to play me that way?
Yeah. So we'll have a whole conversation another time for Disney shit. But let us know what your thoughts are about Titans and what you're excited for. Or just DC in general, considering this streaming service is not going to be part of HBO Max.
Yeah, how are we going to do that?
I don't know. Well, it's like I'm not going to think it's an add-on like they did with Hulu and Disney, but we'll see. We'll figure it out, because I think my subscription is going to end in a couple of months, but whatever. I still want to get HBO Max because of The Watchmen, so I'm not going to lose out with that. But Netflix may be an issue down the road, because I may just do the thing that I want to watch, subscribe, like with Netflix, is everything's bingeable so far. I would watch it for that weekend and then cancel it thereafter.
After it's over.
After I finished it. So.
But you got to, because they're putting out every week, so it doesn't really work that way, because you got to wait.
Then I just wait when all of them are together.
But you don't get it hot then. It's not fresh.
Right. That's the other thing. You miss out on that moment, that conversation you can have with the people the next day about that. That's why I stick with the DC CW shows as long as I've been doing it, because of those moments.
Do you smell that? What does that smell?
It smells like dick, Grayson. But that's the other thing too, is that, I want to do a podcast just like we're doing right now. We just saw Titans episode 1 before like anyone else gets to see this.
Right, because it's topical.
Right. So that's the kind of lightning in the bottle you want to catch. Even if it sucks, we're first. Not that it's always great, but sometimes that's all you want. First.
Yeah, because no one wants sloppy seconds. Yeah.
Not after Dick. Grayson got through with it. Oh, trust me, if you watch that series, that first episode, it is nothing but Dick.
There's a lot of dick in that episode. Say his name a lot.
I mean, you can slap me and the dick will still be in my mouth. Oh, now I can't get that taste in my mouth. Really? Yes, that's how really we are. And it's late because it's late for me. Actually, it's almost like for my bedtime right now. So.
Oh no, it's almost 10 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. Because by this time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to set up my little program on YouTube to fall asleep by Mystery Science Theater, and then my TV will conk out, and then boom, so am I. So aside from that, so let us know what your thoughts are about the series, any of the DC shows on the Streaming Universe app, or the CW, whatever. CW.
Let us know you're out there.
Yeah.
Reach out.
Or if you see us, not that you're going to know us.
They don't know what we look like.
We do have business cards. Limited, though. Did you use yours? You said you did use yours, right?
I have them. I carry them with me. I haven't used them yet.
Yeah.
I haven't gone anywhere where there's a business card thing where I can get a free lunch yet.
And that's the only reason why you're going to use the business cards that I paid for.
But it's cool.
Is to get free lunch.
But they might call you unless I don't forget. If I don't remember to circle my name, you get a free lunch. I don't know.
No, that's not how it works.
That's not how that works.
No. But then again, I could have got a call and I ignore it, so then we are both screwed. But in any case, hoping that we'll get back to a regular basis with our podcast.
Let's try that.
Go to a couple of cons next year and along the way.
Let's hope so.
So on that note, check me out on Instagram because I've been talking about donuts lately.
Check me out. I'm talking about donuts.
Literally.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Because I went to the Salty Donut that's here in Miami. That's in a art district
Circle
area.
is now complete.
It is now closer to me and my branch. So I walked across the street and wrote my review about a bacon donut. Maple bacon donut, sorry. And then I just posted images and videos of our experience at Universal City Walk in Orlando from Voodoo Donuts, which also has a really good maple bacon donut. But hands down, Mojo Donuts,
better.
Much better. So again, you can see the pictures on my Instagram feed. So don't forget to look me up there and also look at my pictures of my cats while you're there. So
look at my cats.
That's all I gotta say. So let us know what your thoughts are. What are you reading? What are you watching? Anything, because we may be bored and don't know what to read next, and you can give us a suggestion. So we're always open to that. So how do you do that, Gene?
I don't know. You go to monstersci-fi.com. Sorry, I was looking.
You
at my
fucking
phone.
email me, not that dick. Grayson.
Terrible.
Email us at monsterscifishow@gmail.com. Follow me on the various social networks like Instagram again, Facebook page, Twitter. So, thank you again for listening to us and to the Monster Sci-Fi Show podcast. God damn it, I already fucked it up already. at the very end. It is not the Monster Sci-Fi Show podcast. It's the Monster Sci-Fi Show. It's sci-fi from a certain point of view. God damn it. Stop shaking your head. We're going.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.